It's been 3 months since we last saw you, and we've missed you. The Deck crew has been working hard to produce both broadcast stories and 310 stories. We'll give you a sneak peek of some of them later. For now, sit back and enjoy today's show. Welcome to The Deck.
Where is everybody? Deck crew, assemble!
When most people think of running, they think of 5Ks, but for some people, that isn't enough. My partner, Connor Allison, shows you what goes beyond just running.
It's a freezing February morning in Washington, Georgia. While some people are still sleeping, others are about to start the hardest event they may ever attempt. Tough Mudder. Over 6,000 people showed up to attempt the event, which consists of 12 miles of extreme obstacles such as freezing water, monkey bars, and even climbing a half pipe. Not just anybody can do this. It takes weeks of strength and cardio training to prepare for the event. Failure to complete the obstacles can result in extreme consequences. Tough Mudder is all about teamwork, about helping and encouraging your fellow mudder. That's what makes it so unique. Included in the masses of people were Decatur teachers Claire McCarty, Chris Watkinson, Carrie Williams, and Sean DeWeese.
Go Tough Mudder! Woo!
Hope this was a good idea. Not sure at this point.
Tough Mudder, we're gonna meet your match.
A special thanks to the Deck's own amateur videographer, Dr. Kara Cassell, who helped film some of this event. The teachers who were introduced to the event by Williams were not the only Decatur residents there. Senior Will Thomas also showed up to tackle the event. Thomas ran, swam, and went to many other lengths to complete the course. He has earned the title Tough Mudder. That title comes at a price. It's obvious the race was incredibly hard. Would it be worth doing again? For The Deck, I'm Connor Allison.
The upcoming Warrior Dash, a 3-mile course, has the same types of obstacles. Look for it May 19th and 20th in Mountain City, Georgia.
That looks a lot like military obstacles. And we have the story of one senior who is gearing up for plebe summer, a mandatory month-long boot camp before freshman year at the United States Naval Academy.
Winter, the few months of the year that encourage high school seniors to check the mail for acceptance letters that will determine where they will spend the next 4 years of their life. Out of over 2,000 schools in the country, only 5 are federally funded military colleges. It's no wonder the application to these schools is very complex, and many often apply to other backup schools.
You don't just say, I'm going to go to the Naval Academy and put in your application and hope for the best. You have to actually find a congressman or some other official that is willing to give you a nomination.
I did the Naval Academy kind of like as my reach school because I knew that it would take a boatload of work and preparation and planning ahead to get there.
For both students and parents, nothing can relieve the pressure of the application process more than getting an envelope congratulating you on your appointment to the United States Naval Academy.
Ike handed me this envelope. It was a manila envelope. And I looked at it and I said, I think this is for you, not for me. And he opened it and it was his acceptance to the Naval Academy Prep School. So we were just excited. That was like the best birthday present that I could have ever received.
I was really excited when I got my acceptance letter. I got a heat flash. I just had to go in the middle of the hallway, which was like a really cold hallway.
The start of freshman year begins with plebe summer, where the midshipman must complete mental and physically demanding tasks. Thankfully for Isaac, he had done it once before.
He was used to the rigorous exercise routine. He was used to getting up at 5:30 in the morning in order to start exercising and running 4 or 5 miles. He was used to the fact that you had to stand out in the heat in formation and listen to people bark orders at you and tell you what to do almost every minute of the day. So those were something that he was used to by the time he got to plebe summer.
Although days for midshipmen are long and busy, they can always unite under one cause: beating Army.
We have a lot of school spirit. That's what I love about this place. Everybody loves football games because if you win, you get an overnight. So you're always rallying on the team to beat the other team. Like, every time I square a corner, I either have to say, go Navy or beat Army. Like, that's one of the first things that they tell you here. So it's ingrained in what you do, everything you do. In fact, I have a cookie up here that says, like, beat Army.
The next 4 years will provide many challenges for Daniel, but there is no doubt that he is ready for the job.
I know that he's ready mentally and physically. He works at it. He knows what the requirements are because of his language skills and his interpersonal skills. He could do very well.
For The Deck, I'm Janelle Seals.
If you're into waking up early and having busy days, then a service academy may be right for you. Talk to your counselors to see if honor, courage, and commitment could be a part of your future.
That was your family, right? Ah, cool. Every 2 years, the association that governs high school sports goes through a process of regrouping schools based on student population. Because Decatur has grown over the last couple of years, the school is being reclassified as 3A and will see new competition next year.
The beginning of every new school year brings about many new changes. Next year, DHS will be undergoing one of the biggest changes of all, classification change. We got the chance to catch up with a few coaches and Decatur's athletic director, Carter Wilson.
You know, there are two reasons that all of this happens anyway. First, you're put in regions to give equity to the amount of time that athletic teams are out of class. And the second reason is to try to create some competitive balance. With us being a AAA school, I would expect us to be very competitive. Obviously, there are some good teams in the region that we're going to, but we're losing some very good teams also.
So what teams won't we play next year?
No longer will we be in the region with Beaufort, Greater Atlanta Christian, Lovett, Westminster.
So how does girls soccer stack up next year?
I think Decatur stack up really well. I think that we have a great number of athletic students out there, and I'm really excited about, at least on my girls' side, a number of girls that play the game, and I think that we'll be really competitive next year.
From a revenue standpoint, we expect to, make as much money, if not more money, than we've made in the past, because there will be more schools that appear to be our natural rivals.
Unlike football, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and many of the other sports that will be undergoing major competition changes, Don Rigger believes that not much will change next year for his lacrosse team. Head basketball coach Charlie Kopp says that him and his team are excited, looking forward to competing against new teams next year.
Overall, it's an exciting time. There's no reason to panic at all. I really expect Decatur to be very competitive all the way across the board in every sport. I think it's a good thing for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
For The Deck, I'm Jordan Dillard.
St. Pius may be Decatur's biggest competition next year after losing rival schools like GAC and Lovett in the reclassification. Now, let's take a look at some of our 310 stories.
One of Decatur's many musical groups has the chance to use a professional studio and sign on to a label. Go online to hear their unique sound. Sexuality is a topic most people aren't open with, but Junior Marius Brown is very confident about who he is.
One Decatur band recently spent 8 hours in glow-in-the-dark record studio. 310.org brings you the story of who they are and how they got there. Check out 310.org to see the stories we will be posting in the next couple of days. A decade seems light years away, but time can fly by. Check out what some students say they will be doing in 10 years.
Every day, fellow students roam these halls. But have you ever wondered where your peers will end up in 10 years? To satisfy your curiosity, we asked Decatur students to respond to this question. In a decade, what do you see yourself doing?
In a decade, I will be a high school teacher in Seattle, Washington.
I would like to have graduated college.
I want to be an electrical engineer.
I see myself becoming a pediatrician.
But one particular student had a more ambitious goal in mind.
In a decade, I would aspire to influence the world in some sort of way.
Another was a little cynical.
In a decade, I'll have my PhD in math and physics, but all the rules of the universe will have been written. So I'm going to get a job at Starbucks and live in a small apartment.
Some Decatur athletes wanted to indulge more in their adventurous side.
In a decade, I want to be a pilot.
We're going to go travel the world.
And in exactly 10 years, we're going to be at the top of Mount Everest, getting ready to jump off with a parachute.
I see myself being in the NFL, playing for the Atlanta Falcons.
I want to be a firefighter.
Others would like to diverge into less strenuous activities.
A decade from now, I'm going to be knitting.
Still others desire to be completely out of the box.
In a decade, I will be a clown for children's parties.
I'd really want to be a treasure hunter.
I'm going to be an FBI agent.
But asking all these questions led our curiosity to the teachers. So we asked them, what were you doing a decade ago? Most teachers weren't at Decatur High School and were pursuing other interests.
A decade ago, I was self-employed, building houses that that I designed.
I was working for the United States Geological Survey collecting water quality samples.
I was living in Chile. I was much younger than I am today.
I was a senior at Berry College, and I just finished up my soccer career there. And I was also a waiter and cook at Provino's Italian restaurant.
But some of our favorite teachers a decade ago were right here in this building.
A decade ago, I was working here at Decatur. I still had 5 children at home.
I was a fairly new teacher at Decatur High School, and I was teaching a group of seniors who thought because we were close in age that they really didn't have to listen to me, so they were quite the challenge.
For The Deck, I'm Faith Ha.
We all love good deals and cheap places to shop. People know the go-to stores for saving money. But what happens when a store cashes in on another store's turf?
You may be familiar with the Last Chance thrift store in Decatur with its trendsetter clothes and amazing bargains. But what you may not know is that it soon may be no longer.
I really like this store. I feel really good about getting something really well made that I don't have to spend hours making, and I get it really cheap. And if it's in good condition, that's saving a lot of money.
Only $6. And it's soft. I gotta come back on Monday, half off Mondays.
I don't want it to close because I really like to shop at Last Chance.
I'm really gonna miss Last Chance. It was a quality thrift store.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Walmart's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Walmart's got to go.
Walmart is not a good neighbor. Walmart doesn't care about communities. Walmart cares about greed and profit. And they're everywhere, and they intend to be even more everywhere. We don't need them. We don't want them.
We don't need a Walmart here. There's terrible traffic already,
and there's like, there's already a Walmart down the road. It's like they're trying to take over or something, We offer a service to community because we have deals that offer products that, yeah, they might be used, but hey, they're cheap, so.
Walmart's awesome. It's like one of my favorite stores. They got everything I need, so I go there and I'm set.
You may want to go thrifting at Suburban Plaza soon, because this just may be your last chance.
That was a good one. Hola, ¿cómo estás, Decatur High? Members of Decatur's marching band traveled over 1,300 miles to Chiapas, Mexico last spring. Next week, they'll be returning the favor by hosting members of the Chiapas band.
The band had new and exciting experiences in Mexico, seeing and living a different life than what they are used to.
For a couple days, we were in a different town than them. And so we were away from them then, but then we were in a hotel, but all the other times we were with our families.
My roommate was Kelsey Martin, and we were rooming with a girl who's maybe 12 or 13, and she went to the school that we had this joint thing going on with. So we were staying at her house. She had a little brother named Pablo, and he was really cute. He was maybe 4 or 5. So it was me and Kelsey, and this girl Lorena and her brother and her parents.
When we were in Mexico, we probably had to get up at like 7:30 because the kids that we were staying with had school most days. One day when we were there, they got out of school for us and we went to their school. But then it usually consisted of us eating breakfast with their family, and then we went and did like a daily activity. Like some days we went to a museum, and then a few days we went to their school.
My family was always late for everything. We were never on time. We would always wake up when we were supposed to be at the place.
We actually did a performance on the Mexican TV station. There was some TV station that we did a performance in front of a bunch of people, and it was live. So that was cool. It was like us, and then the band that the Mexican kids were, they played too.
My favorite food that I had on the trip was this pineapple ice cream. I bought it at the zoo that we visited in Tuxtla Gutierrez, and it was a whole pineapple that they had hollowed out and refilled with pineapple ice cream, and it's probably the best ice cream I've ever had. It was pretty amazing.
I had 2 or 3 parties for the kids while they were at the location where they did the concerts, and townspeople came out. At one point, I think they said something like 400 people came to a party, and we were joking back here in Decatur. We're like, we don't even know 400 people.
Now the tables have turned, and the band is going to be hosting the Chiapas students.
Well, my people, one of them is gonna stay in my room, and then I'm gonna sleep on the couch, and then the other one's gonna sleep in my sister's room.
Well, they actually already have a schedule planned for the Mexicans. I think the first day, their first meal that they have in Atlanta is Taco Mac. Second day or something, we're going to Six Flags, and I think they're going to the aquarium. But I think it's to show them American experience.
Well, we're gonna go to the World of Coke, I think.
Yeah, Six Flags, the aquarium.
I think that if you can possibly afford it as a family, that any opportunity for kids to go and see other people and how they live in another place is probably way more valuable than even years of studying about that place in a school setting.
For The Deck, I'm Diamond Perrin.
Come hear the Chiapas students perform between the varsity soccer games this Tuesday.
Freshmen at Decatur may often feel overlooked and undervalued, but the tennis team has a freshman that even the #1 player is excited to play with. My partner, Mary Adams, investigates the team's newest ace.
Senior Sam Lee has held the #1 singles spot on Decatur's tennis team ever since he was a freshman. But this year, a new player has arrived to challenge his position.
We have a really good freshman talent. His name's Austin Bass, and he's really good.
He showed up on the courts last week, and I've been pretty excited about it ever since.
Even though it's Austin's first year on the team, he has big goals.
I want to play one singles. Hopefully next year I'll be able to play it the entire season.
Austin and Sam are going to have a challenge match in order for Austin to take that spot from Sam. But as it stands now, Sam's going to be playing number 1.
The friendly competition between the two has encouraged everybody to try harder.
I feel that when one of us is playing better than everyone else, it kind of makes everyone else try to play better.
We all push each other. There's just like a really competitive fire between us, and you know that we're going to help each other grow.
Our team in general is just at a completely different place than I've ever seen it, and I'm super excited for all this talent.
The whole team still has a common dream.
Our goal is to make it to state. That's our first goal. But our dream is to win state.
I'm hoping we go to states. I'd like to get a ring.
But whether or not the team makes it to state, Sam will be graduating after the season's over, leaving Austin with big shoes to fill.
He'll definitely be taking on the ropes next year.
For The Deck,
2, 3,
I'm Mary Adams.
Come out to the Glen Lake Tennis Center today to see the Bulldogs take on Therrell High.
When it comes to extracurriculars and sports teams, veterans like Sam Lee usually take the lead. On Decatur's mock trial team, though, rookies have had to take charge.
Last year, mock trial lost 8 of their 12 members. Since the season started in October, the team has relied on new members eager to rise to the challenge.
I'd say my main reasons for doing mock trial is it's a lot of fun, and also it builds up a lot of other skills that you need. And you know, no matter what I'm going to do, I know mock trial will definitely help me prepare.
I have been coaching mock trial on various levels for several years. I've coached high school mock trial.
My mother's a lawyer, and it's always seemed like a really interesting profession to me, which is why I decided to join mock trial.
I think over the decade that I've been coaching, the competition has become stiffer each year.
I love watching the competitions. And I love when I see these kids get up, and I've been watching them week after week, and suddenly they pull something out that they respond to the other side, they make a play on words, or they do something where I just feel so proud about how far they've come.
And when I compare how I was when I was a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, I'm just amazed at the accomplishments of young people. I don't think I could have done it.
My daughter, Jenna Haynes, tried out as an attorney for the team, and I insisted on recusing myself and saying, I'm not going to vote on this. I really want to see if she can make the team on her own, and she made the team.
I wasn't sure it would be that great to have my mom on the team, but originally the plan was that she would come to a few of the practices, but then we both kind of got swept up into it. I got to be a lawyer, and she started coming to every practice, and it really turned out better than I thought it would.
I'm very proud of her. Jenna has, you know, she wanted to try out as a witness, but in the end, she's always been someone who loves to argue. Being a mom is different from being a coach, and sometimes I have to stand back and say, you know, I'm being a coach right now, and I need you to take this criticism and listen.
Because of the demographics, we have a young group, and the young group has to work harder, and they lack the mentors that traditionally exist in the program, but they've overcome that.
I kind of expected people to be angry about there being a freshman lawyer, because I know some people who were in the upper classes wanted to do the same thing. But people have been really accepting of the fact that I'm doing this, which I really appreciate.
You know, a lot of the freshmen and the new kids have definitely stepped up, and I'm really excited for regionals because I think we're going to do really well, even though we have a really young team.
So just in the few short months that we've worked together, watching them get up there and seeing that spark from the competition and what they're capable of, it's a real thrill.
It's a really great environment. There's no rivalry like there would be on any team that I've ever been on. People really enjoy being on the team, and if it wasn't like that, I don't think I would want to be a part of it.
For The Deck, I'm Lindsay Stringer.
The team begins reforming in the fall and is definitely interested in adding new talent.
Seniors aren't thinking about next fall right now. Right now, most of them are wrapping up their senior project portfolios.
Many projects focused on academics or service-related topics.
But senior Jessica Jones has taken hers to a personal level.
I wanted to examine cliques and kind of how and why they form.
Jessica wrote her research paper on the dynamics of social settings and what types of people become leaders.
I created a survey kind of talking about just like background and then what they do on the weekends and then about college stuff. And then I interviewed people that said that they would, so I had to schedule that. And then I put those in and then I was done. I had two really good best friends, but then all of a sudden they just stopped talking to me for no reason. And then while I was reading a Teen Vogue, I saw this book mentioned in an article about bullying. I saw all the cliques in that book, and I kind of got the idea if I wanted to compare the cliques in that book to the ones in Decatur. I would hear them laugh at a couple parts, and a couple teachers or somebody would be like, huh, wouldn't expect that.
Jessica's video provided a lot of discussion among advisements.
Got good reaction from me. I think her project was really good.
I like the way she put it together, the way she included different statistics and her own statistics. But because the survey was just so personal and people were kind of like, this is too personal, I'm not gonna do it. It kind of made you think about the video and just maybe this information isn't completely correct because people didn't put their whole effort into it.
Jessica felt she accomplished a lot after presenting her final product.
So I'm glad that I pulled it off in a way that was very entertaining, but yet it still got the point across.
For The Deck, I'm Madison Van Buren. If you're not a senior, but you're interested in hearing about what Jessica learned, go to 310.org and check out her project video. That is it for us today. Check out all the new stories we've posted on the website, and we'll see you next time on The Deck.